And a pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another broadcast here as we are high school football on a Thursday night, and we're jumping ahead of the rain. We're at J. Lewis Bogus Stadium in Harlingen, Texas. Joe Bowling, Matthew Cavazos alongside. Harlingen South at home taking on the McAllen Bulldogs. And Matthew, two teams 1-1, two teams looking for some identity, and two teams obviously wanting to get a win here tonight.
Oh, yeah, everyone's trying to get a win, and they came out here. We saw them last week. They played here at Bogus. Harlingen South did, and they were a really ground-and-pound team. They try to run out the clock. They try to do their best. It looks like they have their identity formed. They use three running backs. They use Corbin Hendrick, they use Emilio Quiros, and Orlando Muniz, and they all come in with fresh legs, ready to fight, and they never give up any yards.
Meanwhile, the McAllen Bulldogs took it on the chin in their opening game of the season and regrouped and got themselves a win last week against Edinburgh North, a game that went down to the wire. And now they're coming out here with some new players inserted into some spots, as I had a chance to talk things over with their head coach, Kevin Brewer, and he said, Joe, listen, we're going to start two sophomore linemen on the offensive line. We are indeed trying to build a football team on the fly for the season. Look for us to get better each week. That's happened from week 1 to week 2. If it happens again week 2 to week 3, I'm okay with where we're at. And so, again, it's a good matchup with two teams that are still a few weeks away from district play, but both, again, eyeballing that magic of let's get good enough to make a run for a playoff run.
Oh, yeah, this is the most experienced team South has had under Coach Brian Ritchie. He had to rebuild the program, get kids to join in, and now a lot of their starters, you see they're all seniors, juniors. They're playing one sophomore, but he is a tackling machine on defense, so there's a reason he's there.
Fans, again, we're live with you here on YouTube. Those watching on KHGN, we welcome you abroad for the broadcast here at J. Lewis Bogus Stadium. It's the Hawks in the green uniforms. They'll be kicking off, going left to right as we watch it from the air-conditioned press box. They said it's going to get hot in here. It feels pretty good. Kickoff deep into the end zone and goes over the head of the return man. In this case, that's Joe Trevino. McAllen starts off with their own 25.
Yeah, McAllen's going to start off, like you said, at their own 25. Let's see if they can get a big start. The goal is, let's go, let's put some points on the board, let's put some pressure on the Hawks when they get to the offense.
We understand that the Hawks would like to be looking to use the clock and kind of control the tempo of this football game. McAllen may indeed go with the same format. What does that mean? It means if they're both successful, we're going to get out of here real early, which is something everyone wants to do, trying to get ahead of this rain. It's a dry field to start this ball game. Wind coming out of the north, right in the face of the Mac High Bulldogs as they start their first possession of the game. Brian Garza, the quarterback, hands it off. First man through to the right-hand side, dances out across the 25 to the 29. A carry by Octavian Lewis, and a good run on first down.
Yeah, gap in the right side. Good hole by the offensive line. They formed it. He made a couple cuts, got up, and it looks like he gained about 5 yards.
Lewis on the carry, got the first down. He lines up as a deep back in a spread formation here. Shotgun formation again for the quarterback, Brian Garza, the junior. Two receivers left-hand side, single receiver right side on second down, and another running play, this time off left tackle, and that's about a yard gain, nothing more. 3rd and 5 coming up.
Yeah, good job by the defensive line of the Harlingen South Hawks. They closed in the gap that looked like they were trying to form with the running play, but they closed it in, brought them down, minimal gain.
Matthew Cavazos alongside. It's good to be back up here. I was hoping to be here last week. I was hoping to be here tomorrow night. But fans, that game has been canceled. The Harlingen Cardinals will not be taking on Converse Judson. We'll have to get into that a little bit more about what's happening around the Rio Grande Valley in Friday night football, or in this case, the lack thereof. 10:57 to go. We're in the first quarter of play. First drive of the game and a running play for the Bulldogs, and that goes nowhere. Loss on the play of a couple of yards. The Hawks were all over that third down play.
Yeah, they ran into the left side, didn't find anything. He tried to cut it back to the right, and it looked like Sebastian Garrett laid a big hit on the runner right at the line of scrimmage.
And a running play that was over there on that left side to help force the issue. And again, once the ball carrier, Octavian Lewis, tried to reverse his field, there were guys waiting for him on the containment. Punting time for the Bulldogs of McAllen. We're just underway here in the first quarter of play. First drive equals about 5 net yards in total offense for the Bulldogs. Hawks should get good field position out of this exchange. A low snap, nice job of fielding that. Kick is away, and it's a good one. Hawks racing over to return the punt. They'll let it bounce. Takes a Bulldog bounce inside the 30. That's where the Hawks will take over.
Yeah, the Hawks are going to take over at it looks like the 27-yard line, and you're going to come out, and they're not going to throw shots. They're not going to take deep shots down the field. That's not their game plan. That's not Coach Ritchie's philosophy. His philosophy is to get the runners the ball and make sure that a playmaker has the ball in his hands no matter what.
So if they're going to be doing that, then we'll most likely see a double tight end set on a lot of basis. Even if they spread the ball or spread the field, doesn't mean they're going to ice it downfield. They're going to keep the ball within the tackles and look for the contained runs and the sustained drives. First down play for the Hawks. 2 backs in the backfield. They'll shift a man to the right side on first down. David Torres, the junior quarterback, does not hand off, swings a pass left side, had a man, incomplete pass in the direction of Michael Becerra.
Yeah, there is. Like I said, like I didn't say, actually, they made the pass 10 yards downfield. That's a surprise. Usually they come out running the ball, just trying to get a feel for the game, but coming out, letting David Torres show what he's got.
Jackson Helmkamp and David Chiquito over there as the coverage guys on that right side of the defense for the McAllen Bulldogs. The incomplete pass, 2nd and 10. Torres wants to throw again. Slings it left side. It's caught, about a 6-yard gain. Quick pitch and catch. Derek Delgado, the senior, on the quick pass, 2nd and 10. Torres wants to throw.
Quick passes, getting it into the hands of the playmaker, and it looked like there was a little bit of an extracurricular activity down there. There's a flag. It looked like I saw a push from Delgado for the South Hawks. We'll wait for the call.
And that will drive coaches crazy when they're trying to build something, build some momentum. Take a look at guys and who's going to perform in situations. You start factoring in penalties.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on both teams. Number 5 on the defense. Number 15 on the offense. Those penalties will offset. The result of the play is 3rd down. That is each individual player's first unsportsmanlike conduct penalty of the game.
Well, and that defines that. That thus usually ends up in a bunch of running on a Monday when they take a look at the film when you commit a personal foul such as that. No harm, no foul on the chains moving. 3rd down play, and here come the Hawks to the left-hand side, and a lot of room down the sideline on the left-hand side. On the run, it's Corbin Hendrick, and he will go to the house. Touchdown, Hawks. How about that run? They went pass, run, and touchdown.
Oh, yeah, they really switched it up, like you said, and they went back to what they're normally doing. A big gap, a huge gap. He runs through it, and I don't think he was touched on the play. It was just good blocking all the way around from the linemen to the secondary, from the receivers on the corners. And then once he had space, no one was going to catch him.
Corbin Hendrick on the touchdown run for the Harlingen South Hawks, and it comes with 9:27 to go here in the first quarter of play. And just like that, the Hawks break out on top. Last week, Hendricks ended up with 83 yards on 14 carries. He went near that distance on this first carry of the night. The extra point is good. Hawks up 7-0.
Yeah, this isn't something you expect when you come to a game or listen to the game from a Harlingen South team. You don't expect a score and 2 possessions within 3 minutes of kickoff, of the opening kickoff. And so just a big play. And if you're the Bulldogs, you can't let that affect you. It's a big play. You did a good job holding them prior to the big play. And so now you just got to regroup on defense. The coaches are going to talk to them. Don't forget your assignments. Make sure you keep the pressure on, even though if it's a long 3rd down, the play's never over.
67 yards unofficially on that carry, and a touchdown run for the South Hawks. And for a second time in this ball game, in less than 3 minutes, the kickoff team will make their way onto the field, and you couldn't ask for a better start if you're on the home side.
Yeah, 3 and out on the first drive, and that's one of the goals that Coach Ritchie has. He has a big board, defensive goals, and it says 3 and out on first drive of first half, 3 and out first drive of second half. Check that one off, and then score a touchdown on the first offensive possession. Check that one off too. This is the way they want to start. This is always the way any team really wants to start a game.
And they kind of opened it up with a couple of quick hitters on the outside, looking at the passing game in the short routes that opened up that run by Hendrick. Kickoff time for the Harlingen South Hawks. And it's a high kick right down the middle of the field. The catch is made. They called a fair catch at the 10-yard line. I think that in this case, Felipe Magana actually decoyed the official. He was calling the other return man off, but the official said that's a fair catch and stops the ball right there at the 8.
Yeah, an accidental fair catch, as he said. He said, don't come over here. Don't mess it up. It'll bounce and something bad will happen. So he tries to wave him off, and it's a fair catch. And so now the refs spot it down, like you said, at the 8-yard line.
Magana was looking at the sideline as he makes his way over, saying, "Hey, I was going left to right with my hand at my side." And the official said, "No, you weren't." Here it is.
On the receiving team, taking more than 2 steps after a fair catch signal. That penalty will be assessed as half the distance from the goal from the end of the run, which would have been the 25-yard line. First down.
And that is by rule the call that has to be made there, Matthew. And it's, the rules in effect. You can call a fair catch to protect the return men. So if you do advance the football, then they enforce this 15-yard penalty. In this case, half the distance to the goal line. They haven't marked the ball back half the distance. They will now. As the timeout on the field, the officials will look it over. That's what Coach Ritchie is saying right now. It's like, if you're going to assess him half the distance to then he made the catch at the 8-yard line, it should be back to the 4, first and 10 from there. Nothing doing. They don't move the ball. We're just announcers, my friend. First down play, looking to throw, swing it right side, incomplete pass. A leaping attempt there on the catch by Ed Castillo. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, quick out route, but there was a Harlingen South defender coming in, putting his hand up. He had to try to get it over his hand and also into the hand of his receiver, and it was just too much, too far out to it looked like the left side, and he just couldn't reel it in.
You love the replays here on the game, and the KHGN students down on the field, they put the cameras away about 10 minutes before the broadcast, and they're back out and operating in full fashion. Running play right side for the Bulldogs. Out across the 15 to the 19-yard line. Another carry for Octavian Lewis. Another third down, though, coming up on this now their second drive. Call it 3rd and 3.
Yeah, to the right side he came out, and eventually he saw all the gray jerseys, and he just put his shoulder down, and that really did gain him 2 or 3 more yards.
Under 9 minutes left here in the first quarter of play. Thanks again for joining us here for the broadcast. KHGN in conjunction with RealSportsLive.com. Running play up the left-hand side, and that's good enough for a first down. The chains will move, the drive stays alive, and they continue to feed Octavian Lewis early in this ball game. Lewis right there, hit by David Cortez, but that's a secondary guy making a tackle.
Yeah, he went up to the left side, a huge gap, came in, made a couple cuts, and like you said, he got tackled by Cortez. And earlier I mentioned to you, he's everywhere. He's a tackling machine. He's that sophomore that I brought up, but you want to watch out for him and watch out for this running back.
Hawks showing a blitz up the middle on this first down play, and here they come. Running play right at that blitz. They get past it, gain a couple of yards. Lewis again on the carry, and already we can see Octavian Lewis is going to be a busy man and a tired man at the end of this night.
Oh, yeah. At this point, they've only attempted 1 pass so far, and every single handoff has gone to Octavius Lewis.
Lewis lines up in the backfield again on this second down play after a 3-yard gain. It's 2nd and 7. 7:57 left here in the first quarter of play on a Thursday night in Harlingen, Texas. Bulldogs want to pass, looking for a deep ball down the right side. Got him in! It's caught across the 50. Ball goes out of bounds. That'll be a catch. Or will it be? Yes, it will. Move the chains across the midfield stripe. A terrific catch that time by Nathan Linus. Giannis made the catch and stuck with it till he got out of bounds. First down play. Quick handoff. Lewis again, running left side inside the 40-yard line. And this is a good response for the McAllen Bulldogs.
Yeah, this is, usually you feel a little bit lost on the field after a 3-and-out and then a touchdown, but they really came out, and a great job by the quarterback on the last play. There was a defender coming right at his face, and he, under pressure, makes a perfect throw to the receiver.
That's Brian Garza, who lines up in a shotgun on 2nd and 5, slings a pass left side, that's overthrown, tipped, and intercepted. Hawks with a pick, down the left-hand side, on the run. Isaac Marino has a wall of blockers, may go all the way. Marino, touchdown, pick 6 Hawks. 7:04 to go. They're up 13.
Don't take anything for granted right there. They throw the ball. It's a quick screen. He overthrows the receiver just a little bit, tips it into the air, and Moreno's coming in to make a tackle, and he feels the ball in his hands, and he's like, well, I guess I'll take it. And he goes and takes it about 60 yards down the field.
I love the blocking as the wall of blockers just got right in line, and a lot of guys, when they get that kind of an interception, will race ahead of those blockers. He waited. He let them get in line, and then he just rumbled right into the end zone for the score. Hawks fans loving the start of this one. What looked like an impressive drive for the Mackay Bulldogs ends up in 6 points and a timeout called by the Hawks.
The first charge timeout of the half.
Yeah, just what a play. And that's one of the players. He's a captain. That's one of the players I mentioned to you, Joe, before the game. Isaac Moreno. He's the free safety, and he has the instinct. You know, when we call these games Harlingen South, because we're always here at Bogus Stadium, or at least I am, and he's everywhere. He's like David Cortez. He's everywhere. He has a nose for the football. And so he got it. He got the football, pick 6, and it looked like it was 60 yards. And so what a way to really stop the drive from McAllen. And now they're going to have to work from a 2-score lead down.
Extra point coming up for the Harlingen South Hawks. They had to burn a timeout after that score. And again, the new rule is as soon as that touchdown is made, the play clock starts. So if there's any celebration at all and you don't get your personnel on the field, you may end up having to do what just happened right there with Coach Ritchie's squad. Call that timeout. Extra point coming up for the Hawks. Good snap, placement down, ball up, away, and good. Hawks up 14-0, and we're just getting started.
Yeah, the drive by McAllen, like you said, it was a good drive. Really, the one big play, it was a great catch. He came out with it, and they ruled it catch and fumble out of bounds. And then, so now you just have to try to replicate that. You know, it's tough what happened right now, but if you're the quarterback, you got to shake it off. You got to get your team into it. You got to say, we have to score now. We have to take advantage of what we've got.
And good, you know, it's a good start for the Hawks. And it's a good start for actually both these teams when you take a look at what's been going on. The last 2 days, nothing but talk of rain, postponements, might have to move the game up, might not play the game. And so it's tough to stay focused in getting ready to play a football game. Obviously, Coach Ritchie got his crew ready to roll.
Yeah, Coach Ritchie had that mindset saying, no matter what, don't listen to anything you hear. Just only what I say. Just listen to what I say. And I say we're playing a football game, so you guys better get ready to play this football game. And if they call it off, then they call it off. But as far as we know, we're playing that game.
And they are playing the game and up 14-0. Again, a reminder, fans, the Harlingen Cardinals were scheduled to take on Converse Judson. There was a lot of excitement and a lot of ticket sales resulted for that game. But the Judson Rockets will not make the trip up into this area. And so we will not see that game tomorrow night. Kickoff goes into and out of the end zone. And so the McAllen Bulldogs will start over at the 25-yard line, 1st and 10. Third drive of the night and already down 14.
Yeah, and so right now McAllen's going to have to try to respond to this suffocating, you could say, defense right now. And so, like I said, they're going to have to try to respond, try to get some points on the board. That's the goal.
2 receivers right side, 1 receiver on the left-hand side for the Bulldogs, a shotgun formation. Back to work goes Brian Garza. Last time he attempted a pass, it was picked and returned to the end zone. Hands it off this time on a delay, and that's going to be Lewis again. Lewis already with double-digit carries, ends up going for 3 there, 2nd and 7. And
yeah,
Lewis gets up hurt.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to get up, but he's going to stay down now. Here comes the training staff for the Bulldogs. And so they handed the ball off. He made a couple cuts, went in. He put his head down. Instead of using the shoulder pads, he put his head down, and it looked like he got hit in the head from what I saw. And so hopefully nothing serious. Hopefully they're back, especially before district play, if McAllen's going to try to make that push for the playoff spot.
Teams will take a knee, and so now some anxious moments on the McAllen sideline because of the fact that, again, the junior, Octavian Lewis, was being fed a heavy dose of carries here to start this football game, and now he's being tended to on the sideline. And I know Coach Brewer was saying we're going to start some sophomore linemen. We got some guys we're putting in here, putting in there. But I know one of the things he wasn't looking to do was, let me try a couple new running backs. He was comfortable with Octavian Lewis handling a ton of carries here tonight.
Yeah, I don't think this was part of the game plan to really go by committee, and now you just have to make the adjustments now. You know, hopefully he comes back this game. Hopefully he comes back soon, but if all else fails, you have to make adjustments. Next player up. If you are that next player up, you got to be ready for your number to be called, and now might be that time.
Lewis gets up. He's being attended to. He walk off on his own power, which is a good sign for McAllen Bulldog fans, and that may just be some type of protocol now. They're going to have to watch him as he was leading, again, head first into that pile. So Daniel Cazares, a sophomore, checks into the game, and here we go with the youth movement for the McAllen Bulldogs, which last year was called a rebuilding type of a season. This year also was slated as a season in which they hope to get better week after week and make a run into a backdoor trip into the playoffs at worst. Running play, first carry of the night, and a couple of yards gained near the 30-yard line. Right into the game, and then right into action goes Daniel Cazares.
Yeah, he had to get the ball, and really there was nowhere to go, so he just put his shoulder down and said, I'm going to gain what I can, and that's what he did. So now it's 3rd and 5 for the Bulldogs.
On 3rd down, the Bulldogs look to the sideline. Clock, 6:20 and counting here in the first quarter of play. Game that some rumored was going to start at 6:30 ended up getting pushed to the right time of 7 o'clock here on a Thursday, and now on 3rd down. Running play and hesitating and nothing doing. Hawks were in the backfield in a hurry. First guy in was Julian Cerna, the senior. There was no room for the ball carrier, in this case, Cazares.
Yeah, he had the ball. He tried to take it to the right side, right up the right guard, and it looked like you said, number 20 was there. He was right there, met the runner, and just took him down. No way that there was going to be a broken tackle. He wrapped him up and brought him down.
Punting time for the Hawks. Return man back and standing at his inside his 30 is Gabriel Perez. So the Bulldogs, who are punting, looking up already at a 14-0 deficit, will give the ball back to Harlingen South. Good snap. Kick is a low, short, end-over-end kick. Takes a Bulldog roll to the 32 and stops there. And that's where the Hawks will take over 1st and 10.
And here we go. Now the South Hawks, I think now Coach Ritchie goes back to the philosophy of let's run it out. We have a 2-score lead. Let's try to just push this game, make it long, get the defense tired, and really make this hard to come back from.
From the 32-yard line, Harlingen South, who scored on their opening drive. And then the defense added points on the board on a pick 6. Now brings the offense out for just a second time on the night with 5:16 left here in the first quarter of play. Shotgun formation, running play, right side. Now the quarterback slings a pass in the flats of the right side. Nice catch now, yards after the catch. Stepping out of bounds, Derek Delgado.
And there you go, the number 1 receiver right there. He's had all the targets, all the completions. And so that's another guy you need to watch out for the rest of this game.
Quick pace right now for the Harlingen South Hawks. Already ready for the snap, and here it comes. Handoff, running play, right-hand side, trying to get to the corner. Key Rose on his first carry. Will gain a couple, but no more than that.
And yeah, Kidos, he goes to the right side. Really just, they pushed him to that, like the team likes to say, that second defender, which is the sideline, because once you go past there's nothing else you can do. So they pushed him that way. Couldn't get vertical and only got 2 yards.
Second down for the Hawks, and David Torres sets him down. Just under 7 yards to go. Slings a pass left-hand side, the midfield stripe, taking on a tackler, and maybe enough for a first down is Derek Delgado.
Yeah, there's Delgado again. He put his arm out as soon as he grabbed the ball, put his arm out, resisted the defense, and it took a couple more players to bring him down, and they do in fact give him the first down as he went out of bounds right at the sticks.
He took on Jason Helmkamp out there, who delivered the hit, and then Helmkamp had to hang on for some help. First down play, man in motion, and they'll fake that. Now look out of a running play to Key Rose, and that goes nowhere.
Yeah, they tried to hand it off, a little bit of a bobble on the handoff. Kidos drops it, and he just falls on top of it, saying, let's try not to scoop it up and do something. Let's just make sure we have the ball still.
4:06 and counting here in the first quarter of play. Harlingen South Hawks, this is just the second time their offense has been on the field here tonight. Key Rose stands in the backfield as a single back. Torres relays the play to the troops. 2 receivers set right side, another receiver left. He takes the snap. Play action, looks to pass, right side, got it. Delgado caught it for a completed pass, and now gets a first down on second effort as he out-muscled Matthew Ramos, the junior, for the first down.
And there's that man again, Derek Delgado. He grabs the ball. It looks like it's just going to be a 7-yard completion. They're pushing him back. He spins, and he carries the defender 3 yards, gets the first down. Yep, they're going to give him the first down, and now a new set of downs. Now they're at the 38-yard line. And here we go.
3:33 to go here in the first quarter of play. Harlingen South Hawks moving the football downfield.
Remove the video again. Remove it.
On this play, Key Rose stays in the backfield behind Torres. David Torres sends a man in motion, hands it off. Key Rose up the middle, got a little room in the secondary to the 30. Now on his horse to the 20. Goes out of bounds at the 12-yard line. A big first down. He broke that one right up the middle.
Yeah, there you go. He's not the biggest guy, but he might be the strongest from what we've seen. He just shook off 3 defenders, kept going, kept his speed up, and he gained about 25 yards on that carry.
Torres on first down, hands it off, running play right side this time, and rumbling inside the 5-yard line for another nice gain, and the offensive line taking over that time, Orlando Muniz.
And that is what fresh legs does for you. That's what Coach Ritchie really bases his team off of. He wants 2 or 3 runners to always come in and alternate snaps so they can always have fresh legs, and you saw the difference it made there.
Muniz takes a handoff, stutters forward, gets near the 3, gets shut down there, but that may be enough for a first down, which would mean 1st and goal for the Hawks.
Yeah, he tried to carry it into the teeth of the defense, but there was a pile up right in front of him, and he had nowhere to go, and he just ended up on top of it.
Clock running with 2:19 remaining here in the first quarter. Harlingen South Hawks up 14-0. 3rd down. They can still get a first down without getting into the end zone, are the Hawks. Man in motion. They'll fake the handoff to him. Now give it to the tailback, bouncing it to the outside, and nowhere to go as the McAllen Bulldogs start to stiffen up here and create a decision time for Coach Ritchie and the Harlingen South Hawks. Player down.
And there we go, a goal line stand for the Bulldogs. And like we said, we have a player down who's really rolling around. Really, you could tell he's in a lot of discomfort. Like we said earlier with Lewis, hopefully he's not hurt severely. Hopefully he can come back either this game or before district season starts, but hopefully it's not serious.
Minute 58 left here in the first quarter of play. Again, we're here live at J. Lewis Bogus Stadium in Harlingen, Texas on a Thursday night. McAllen Bulldogs in town to take on the Harlingen South Hawks. Matthew Cavazos, I'm Joe Bowling. KHGN Television providing all of the camera angles and switching the game on the fly with a multiple camera shoot here for Rio Sports Live, which is assisting in the broadcast as well. I've been bouncing all over this valley, to teams, to games, to stadiums. I was in Raymondville all day today getting ready for that one. And that's going to be a fun game up there with Lyford and Raymondville.
Yep, but we chose Harlingen, didn't we? This is a big game, Thursday night. It's rare to see a game on Thursday night, so we're glad you're here joining us, Joe, especially with Aaron out of town this week. We really needed someone to be in here.
Yeah, Aaron and I were joking around saying, hey, what about that Judson game? He's like, I really hate that I'm not going to be there. Well, he kind of got out of that. He doesn't have to worry about missing that big game. But the fans are going to miss that. And the media, we're going to miss that from the perspective of it really was a chance, Matthew, to see. We saw Harlingen win a game. I was out there last week when the Cardinals played in Laredo. And this week I wanted to get a true measure as to, well, how do they match up with the speed of the San Antonio elite, in this case, which would have been Converse Judson. We don't get to see that matchup, and so now that question mark will remain on, well, are we ready? And when I say we, the Rio Grande Valley ready when the round 3 of the playoffs, because someone's going to waltz through here, and someone will be in the round 3 of the playoffs, and we'll have to take on teams such as Converse Judson. Extra point, maybe. They'll go with a field goal. After 2 for 2 on the extra point, Hawks made the decision of not going for it on 4th and about 4. Snap down, ball down, kick up, long, high, and good. Hawks with a field goal. Go up 17.
And, you said there's going to be a couple teams going to the 3rd round. And this Harlingen South squad is actually a sneaky team to keep your eye on in the district. In the district race, at least 32-6A, one of the toughest districts down here in the valley. You have 5, I'd say, if you count the Hawks, 5 really main contenders for the 4 spots out of only 6 teams.
I personally have seen Hanna, I've seen San Benito, I've seen Los Fresnos, I've seen Harlingen, and now I'm seeing the Harlingen South Hawks. So the only one remaining is Brownsville Rivera, which is struggling this season. But those 5 teams of the 6, the district got trimmed down to 6, remember. So 5 of the 6, somebody's going to be setting out of the playoffs, and they're going to be a pretty good football team.
Yeah, that's going to be a team that really, they don't believe, and they shouldn't believe, that they should be out of the playoffs. You could put that team in another district, and possibly they would be in a playoff spot.
Hawks up 17-0 with 1:46 to go, and the highlights have been just racking up with a couple of touchdowns and a field goal for the Hawks. With 1:46 left here in the first quarter of play, they'll kick it off. Jose Lerma has been a busy man. Lerma puts the ball into play. Another deep kick. And the McAllen Bulldogs will start another drive from their 25.
And that one was a fair catch. That one went over his head. We know for sure that one was a fair catch. He made it obvious on that one. And he kneeled for good measure.
Joe Trevino said, here, I'm going to make this real easy for everybody. Indicated fair catch, took the knee in the end zone. No mystery, no penalty. All right, here come the Bulldogs of McAllen. Brian Garza lines them up in a shotgun formation with 1:46 left here in the first quarter. He hands the ball off at a running play to the right side, out across the 25 to the 28-yard line.
Yeah, he went right, left, went into a crowd. You think, oh, he didn't get very far. And then you look again, and he got another 3 yards going into that crowd.
Daniel Cazares on the carry. 2nd down and 7 yards to go for the McAllen Bulldogs.
No, it's not the program. It's
Garza
the one you just disconnected.
lines up in a shotgun formation. Sends a man in motion, left to right. Here come the penalty flags, and this play will not start.
The little twisty thing, that's what.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense number 8. That penalty will be assessed from the previous spot, 5 yards. Still 2nd down.
So they gained 3, lost 5. And no play was used in between that. So
2nd down and long. Bulldogs already down 17-0. Looking for some positive things to rewrite the ship. With 1:03 to go. They'll look to throw right-hand side. That's going to be picked off again by the Hawks on the left-hand side. This time it looks like Gabriel Perez, or was that Enrique Alvarado?
I'm trying to get a number, but a lot of celebrating going on down there. It was Alvarado. It was.
Yes, but
Let's see. Enrique Alvarado. He jumped the route. He saw the receiver come back into a curls formation. He sees that. He sees the quarterback's eyes. He had his eyes on him the whole time. Jumped the route. Jumped in front. Got the ball. He actually got a couple of yards until he was taken down.
1st and 10. You know, Matthew Cavazos, over the years, the past few years, things like this were happening to the Harlingen South Hawks on a regular basis, and they were trying to rebuild the program. Now tonight, the Hawks are unveiling the ability to make defensive plays and put points on the board from the offensive perspective. 1st down play, they'll look to throw. From the right side, Torres going to keep it, tucks it, makes a move, makes a man miss, gets a block, gets inside the 10 and out of bounds, 1st and goal. Penalty.
Yeah, he got out all the way down to around the 7 or 8 yard line, but there's a flag back at the 20. We'll see what the call is, but usually when it comes to that point, it's an offensive foul, so we'll see.
And that flag was thrown behind. He was already free.
Personal foul, face mask. Defense number 46.
Yeah, when he made the move, you saw it on the replay. When he made the move, the defender came back, tried to reach, grabbed the face mask, pulled it back a little bit, but it wasn't enough to take the short quarterback down.
So the run will stand. Tack on the penalty yards. 1st and goal coming up for the Harlingen South Hawks.
And here they go at the 4 yard line.
Torres has them lined up. Looks to throw. Right side. Fade route. Caught. Touchdown Hawks. The catch made by Brady Bennett. And the Hawks are just doing everything in perfection right now to start this ball game.
Yeah, a big goal by them is to limit mistakes and force mistakes. And they've done a good job of doing both. 2 turnovers, 3 touchdowns, 1 field goal, 4 red zone trips, and that's what you call a successful first quarter.
Out of the gate, the Harlingen South Hawks at home have hit the McAllen Bulldogs with a storm. And it's caused again by everyone on the right page. Offense, defense, special teams. Extra point coming up, and count that too. Hawks up 24. We're just still in the first quarter.
Yeah, and you know, people that aren't really in Harlingen, that don't follow the Hawks, even some Cardinal students, they're always asking me, what's going on with the Hawks in recent years? Why haven't we seen much success? And you know, I just say, you have to trust what's going on. You know, it's hard. Not a lot of kids were in the program. They brought it up. Kids are joining the program, learning new playbooks, getting seniors leaving. The main people of the team, a lot of them were seniors. They all left. They had a really young team last year. You see now a lot of seniors are starting, but last year it was the same people, but they were all juniors. They weren't as experienced, and so I always tell them, you just have to trust what Coach Ritchie is doing. You have to put faith in him, and we'll see. And I always say, I said before the season that this is going to be a good year. This is going to be a good year. They're more experienced, and this is a team to look out for, and they're proving it right now on Thursday night.
And they're certainly making a statement that, again, it's not a reliance on a single player or a primary phase of the game to rely on for the points scored. The defense is making the adjustments, making the proper plays. The offense obviously putting points on the board through the air, on the ground. We're just still in the first quarter. 33 seconds left. Another kickoff. Short kickoff up the middle. Out across the 10. 15 to the 20. Out across the 25-yard line. And so 1st and 10 for the McAllen Bulldogs. And they got to be now shaking their heads saying either what else can happen or we got to get over this and get going.
Hopefully it's that second one if you're the offense, if you're a McAllen fan. They want to try to get over what's going on right now. And, problem with scoring this much this quickly is that there's still a lot of time left. It's a game of runs. And you never know. McAllen could start their run right now and not end it.
Brian Garza will hand the ball off, and the running play across the 29 goes for just a couple of yards. Daniel Cazares, and that may take us to the second quarter, which from a McAllen perspective is probably okay. They want to forget about this first quarter of play here today, Matthew.
Yeah, they want to get over what's really happened so far. 22nd quarter, they're going to switch sides, they're going to switch field, and you're going to want to see them come out. The coach is going to say, we still have 3 quarters. I know it's a big deficit right now, but 3 scores in the third quarter is a lot different than 3 scores starting the second. Or 4 scores, excuse me. But 4 scores starting the second. So we still have a chance. We can still make our run. And if you don't make it end, if it doesn't end before the end of the game, then we can still win this.
Second down as we'll get ready to start this second quarter. What started off with the Hawks scoring after a stop on the opening drive by the McAllen Bulldogs. Hawks put points on the board. Then McAllen appeared to be answering with a sustained drive. And a pick six has just kind of taken the sails out of anything McAllen had going. Then injure your starting tailback. And now the McAllen Bulldogs are indeed trying to find something to work on. Running play left side, a couple of yards for Cazares, but third down coming up. And the last thing they want is a 3 and out here.
Yeah, he ran into the pile. The pile moved back. And then the pile moved forward again. And so he ended up gaining a couple of yards, and now it looks like they're going to call it 3rd and 2, or 3rd and a short 2, 3rd and a long 3. Or 3rd and a long 2, 3rd and a short 3, depending on what you look at.
Third down nonetheless. Single back in the backfield is Cazares. We still have not seen any sign of a return by Octavian Lewis. Long count. And they'll look to run. Quarterback keeper hit at the 35. That's not enough for a first down. Getting through there was Franklin Ariano. Made a big play. 4th down coming up.
Yep, needed 2. Got 1. Good stand by the defense. And they're still debating whether they want to try to keep the offense out or if they're going to send the special teams unit. We'll see what the coach decides.
You're down 24-0.
1 yard to go.
Hold on, let me check to see.
At worst, they're going to let the play clock run down. And at least take some time off the clock if they are indeed going to punt. The punting unit is ready to come onto the field. Over there by Coach Brewer. He's going to call timeout at the 1 second mark. Bulldogs,
Timeout.
again, know they're about to give the ball up. He's just letting his
timeout.
defense breathe just a little bit after giving up 24 points already as a team here in this ballgame.
Yeah, the defense has been on the field a long time for the McAllen Bulldogs. If you look, the first touchdown of the game took about 2 minutes to go down the field. The pick six, that saved their defense some time. But since then, it's been all offensive drives coming down the field. One at the 30, ended up at the 3-yard line, and then a field goal. And then, again, 22-yard line, there was an interception. On the McAllen side, they tried their best to make a stand. Couldn't do it. They've been on the field a long time. They're tired. Any time to let them breathe, like you said, helps.
4th down coming up. Hawks send a man back inside his 30. Offense stays in the game. So a change of pace there. Hawks wasn't ready for that. Will they call a timeout here? Maybe not. Bulldogs take the snap. They'll go for it on 4th down. Running play left-hand side, and that's going to be real close and maybe short, though, depending on this spot. We'll take a look.
It's either going to be a real generous spot or really close enough to where they can't get it. We'll see what they do here, and they're going to give it to him the 1st down now, 37-yard line. He ran out to the left side, got tripped up from below, and that flung him forward for the yard that he needed to gain.
So a gamble that time for the Bulldogs of McAllen. They'll run the ball up the middle, 40-yard line, trying to gain some momentum after converting on that 4th down play.
Yeah, 3 yards he ran into the teeth of the defense. He tried to do as well as he could. Didn't turn out. Now it's actually 2nd and 6.
All right, we're up against it here. First they turned the lights out, which I couldn't see my rosters. Then I was using the light of the screen. And now that goes out on us, Matthew. What's going on up here?
Well, here we go. They came back with it. 2nd
down. They'll run it left-hand side. Bulldogs out across the 43. 3rd down coming up.
And we had a quick response here. After we said that, the TV came on. It was a good job by our tech team.
3rd down coming up. I'll tell you, fans, Matthew said it was going to get hot up here. It feels pretty comfortable to me. 2 weeks ago, I was in the Edinburgh Stadium, and it was over 100 degrees inside that press box that we were announcing in the visitor side. I'll take this. 3rd down play. Bulldogs run the ball. That's a nice cutback, and across the midfield stripe into Hawk territory are the Bulldogs on another carry. In this case, Rogelio Baez.
Yeah, he ran out to the right side. A lot of gray jerseys were coming out there. Made a cut left and got 4 more yards. Give him the 1st down at the 49-yard line and in Hawk territory.
8:47 and counting here in the 2nd quarter of play. Running play, Baez again to the left-hand side, tripped up, got back to the line of scrimmage, no more.
Yeah, they tried their best, but defense swarmed in there on that left side of the offensive line, and that resulted in a no gain, actually. I thought maybe they would give him a yard, but it actually went no gain. And here we go. They're coming up. They're going to line up here. They're going to line up here, 2nd down and 10. The 49-yard line. Brian Garza ready to take the snap. And they motion a man to the left, takes it, looks back, drops back, throws it out to the right side, to the left side, towards the sideline, overthrown just a little bit. And so it sailed incomplete, out of bounds, and now it's 3rd and 10 from the 49-yard line.
3rd down play for the Bulldogs. 8:05 left here in this 2nd quarter of play. And if you're Mac High, even if it takes 6 or 7 minutes off the clock, you want some type of sustained positive drive that puts points on the board. Doesn't necessarily get you back in the football game immediately, but at least gets you in the right direction of shutting down what right now has been an offensive showcase and a defensive run by the Hawks. Pressure this time. Quarterback gets away, and nice job of getting rid of the football, Brian Garza.
Yeah, veteran move there. He was running out of the pocket, didn't see anyone, didn't try to force the ball. He just threw it out of bounds, and now it's 4th down. And so they're lining up.
Score?
Yeah, score update here. Los Fresnos, 21. Ed Couch Elsa, 0. And it looks like they might be starting the 2nd quarter right now.
I saw that Los Fresnos team in that improbable comeback. They were down 35-7 late in the 3rd quarter. Came back and won 36-35 against Austin LBJ. Ed Couch Elsa, they're a team that's struggling this year. That's at Ed Couch. New coaching staff over there. Punting time for the Bulldogs, and it's a short, wobbly kick. Takes a bounce. They'll get away from it. Inside the 5 and just into the end zone. Hawks will take over. Near having to take over inside their 5, they'll get it outside the 20.
Yeah, usually when a ball bounces 20 yards, it's a good thing, but not here. It landed at the 20 and just rolled all the way into the end zone. It didn't look like it was going to stop after it crossed the goal line either. So now the Hawks are going to take, it looks like, I think their 4th offensive possession here. 7:47 left in the 2nd quarter. The offense is huddled up. And what I think that's going to happen is they're going to mix it up still, but really they're just going to focus on running the clock, getting a long drive going. And who knows, they could get down the field and score again. No one really knows now.
They're up 24 as the Hawks bring the offense onto the field. Single back in the backfield. They will run it. And that goes for a yard, maybe a yard and a half, but no more than that.
Yeah, they ran up the teeth of the defense and really had nothing going. They chomped down on they clenched their jaws, made sure they weren't going to give up any space. So it was only a 2-yard gain, 2nd and 8.
Hendrick on the carry. Corbin ends up gaining again 2 yards. He'll get it again. This time tries the left-hand side, gets out across the 25, fights forward to the 28. 3rd down and short coming up for the Hawks.
Yeah, he runs out to the left side. He has a man there. He tries to make a cut. They drape on him like a curtain. And he rumbles forward still for another 3 yards. So 3rd and 3.
On 3rd down, Hawks out of a shotgun. Here come the penalty flags. A lot of movement up front.
We wonder if it's a false start or if the quarterback did a good job drawing them off sides. We'll see. Wait for the call.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense number 72.
And it was
5-yard
the
penalty.
first one. It was a false
down.
start. So now 3rd and 7. It went from 3rd and 2, 3rd and 7. That's a big difference on 3rd down.
When you see one defender jump across the line, it's a coin toss. When they all come across the line, usually a lineman has moved on the offense. 3rd down for the Hawks. Torres looks to the sideline for the play change. Play clock at 10 and counting. Game clock at 6:44 to go here in the half. Torres now takes a snap. Looks to throw, left side, got a man, that's caught, and a 1st down. Another pitch and catch right on the money to strike to Derek Delgado.
There's that man again, number 1 receiver, Derek Delgado. He goes, does what they say. Go to the sticks, turn around, make the catch. It doesn't matter what happens after that. As long as we are at the sticks and we get the 1st down, what happens after happens.
1st down play for the Hawks. Man in motion. They'll fake the handoff, look to throw. Torres looking for a deep ball, settles underneath, and it's caught. Midfield, inside the 45, out of bounds. A nice catch, another underneath route this time, and Brady Bennett reeled it in.
And you can really see the improvement of this quarterback. He came in Bird Bowl last year, threw him into the fire, sophomore year, and now he's back. Chemistry has grown, and you can see his touch is there. That ball would usually go overthrown, right in the money.
Looks to throw again. Has some pressure up the middle. Has some room. Has a man to beat. And he does. Down the 30. Looks for a block at the 25. Out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Torres does it with his arm and now with his legs.
Now, what a move there. He had the ball back in the pocket. Fake pumps as the defender's coming in. He jumps to try to deflect the ball that didn't come out and throw it in his hands. And he takes off and gains about 20 yards with his legs.
1st down. Hawks running the fast-paced offense here. And before the next snap whistle, timeout called. McAllen Bulldogs say, wait a minute. It's already 24-0, and this thing's going downhill. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, it looks like they were just trying to give their defensive breather and try to regroup, get focused again, as now the South Hawks have it at the 23-yard line, almost in the red zone with 5:48 left in the 2nd quarter.
All starts with a running play on the first drive by the Harlingen South Hawks that got the scoring rolling. Corbin Hendricks took it 60-plus yards for a touchdown. And then the defense on the next drive comes up with a pick 6, and that's what it's been ever since. Anything positive? It belongs to the Harlingen South Hawks.
Yeah, you can really see the growth of this team and the growth of the program. More people on the sidelines than there have been in the past couple of years. And also, you can see the players are getting that maturity, getting that experience. And now this is probably, like I said earlier, the most experienced team the South Hawks have had in about 4 or 5 years.
And the Hawks out of a shotgun formation after the timeout. David Torres waits for the snap. Hands the ball off. That's Quiroz. He's got some room. He drags a man down to about the 16-yard line. Nearly breaking that was Emilio Quiroz.
Yeah, a big gap down at the offensive line. He runs in, and so he tries to make the move to the left. He had one man to beat, but he got him. He wrapped him by the legs. I don't know if you ever saw Star Wars where they wrapped up the big guy and brought it down, wrapped it up, and that's what happened there. They wrapped up his legs, and once you can't move him, there's nowhere you can go.
Matthew, I was old enough to see Star Wars when it first came out, okay?
Just making sure everyone got the reference.
Got them all in, baby, from day one. Pass play, Torres looking left side, end zone, and it is incomplete.
That's a good job by the corner. He did have his eyes back towards the ball, but he was following the receiver's hands and eyes, stuck his hand up, and it looked like he got a piece of the ball. Even though he wasn't looking, he was following the receiver's movements.
Stops the clock with 5:27 remaining here in the third quarter of play. Harlingen South Hawks in the red zone of the McAllen Bulldogs. Torres keeps it back in the backfield. That's Quiroz. Here's Quiroz on the carry, makes a man miss, gets to the 15, stays on his feet, inside the 15, down to the 10, spins forward. That's the first down for the Harlingen South Hawks. The littlest guy on the field becomes the biggest man on the field with the ball in his hands.
Yeah, you don't have to be the biggest guy on the field, but as long as you can make the biggest impact, that's all that matters. He made about 4 defenders miss. It looked like no gain, fourth down. What's going to happen? Okay, he broke out. Okay, it's still going to be a 4th and 2, 4th and 1. And then he broke out of that one and just kept going towards the sideline. And eventually got the first down, and now they're down at the 11-yard line.
5 minutes left here in the first half of play. Hawks appear to be changing up the play. Under center this time, Torres. Play action, rolls out right side. Torres with a ton of time, slings a pass, end zone, diving play, and incomplete.
And that was a nice strike there, as you see the tight end going out to the corner, and a receiver from the left side cutting across, doing like a slant kind of route towards the middle of the field. He throws it to the second read, which is the slant. It was just a little off, a little too far. He reached for it, couldn't reel it in.
Austin Montalvo, the intended receiver. Clock stops with 4:46 left here in the half. Torres back to a shotgun. Keeps Quiroz, hands it off. Here comes Quiroz left side. Got a block. Got inside the 10, down to the 5. Stays on his feet down to about the 3-yard line. Third down coming up, and that's real close to first down yardage for the Hawks.
And they go following blockers, and eventually he outran them and still used his strength and his legs to keep pounding, and that got him in really good position. 3rd and 2 now at the 3-yard line instead of 3rd and 5 at the 6.
Torres takes a snap, hands it off. New ball carrier in the game. Rumbles forward to the end zone. He is in. Touchdown, Corbin Hendrick.
There it is. Like you said, Corbin Hendrick, he got the big play early, and he's got this short play now. That's 2 touchdowns for him. And like you said, 3-yard run, put his shoulders down, said, this one's going in the end zone. Whether you guys like it or not, I'm going to make sure this one gets past that goal line.
4:14 left here in the first half of play. Hawks have put a 30 spot on the scoreboard and showing no signs of letting up or slowing down as they are moving the ball and putting the ball in the end zone. Extra point is good. Kickoff coming up. 31-0 Hawks on top.
A lot of things that you're impressed to see with the Harlingen South Hawks. The offense looks like it's found a new gear from last year. Defense, even though they lost those 2 edge rushers, those 2 big impact players, Brandon Bennett, Sky Tatum, both could go down as legends of this South football team with how athletic they were. And so they came out, they're gone, seniors, and you think, well, let's see what the defense can do. Let's see, a lot of experience you have to check, make sure they're doing good. A lot of people said, I don't know if I trust the defense, but they came out today, forced 2 turnovers, held the Bulldogs scoreless so far. And then special teams, they've made all their kicks, which is bigger than you would think. And so now 31-0, 4:14 left in the second quarter. Just a big statement game from this Harlingen South football team.
Special teams talk it over on the south side. I'm sure they're talking about this. Don't let a big play happen here that takes away anything from what you guys have accomplished here in the first half. Thus, the extra time taken before the Hawks kick team makes their way onto the field.
And here we go. What are you expecting from this McAllen offensive possession?
Well, the Bulldog, we'll see where they start the drive. First of all, we'll take a look now at the leg strength of Jose Lerma, who's put all his kickoffs in the end zone, but that was with the wind at his back. This time he's got the wind in his face. So perhaps the Bulldogs can get some kind of return off of this kickoff, and then maybe that'll set some momentum going. Start here. Lerma will put it into play. Short, high kick. No catch made. That's a live football. Now they'll blow it dead as it went near the 30, but there's a penalty called. Looks like one of the Hawks may have run into the return man or was offsides. Offsides called against the Hawks. We'll let the official make the call.
And we get confirmation up here in the box that it was an offsides. Good
There's
read.
one flag here, another flag back there where the return man was standing.
I think the ball might have gone out of bounds. I didn't see if they picked it up, but
multiple penalties on the play, both against the kicking team.
and we'll see what it is.
Offsides, the kicking team. That penalty is declined. Kick catch interference on the kicking team. That penalty is accepted. The 15-yard penalty will be assessed from the end of the spot. First down.
So when you do a short kick, you're prepared to give out some field advantage for the Bulldogs. But when someone interferes with the catch, that makes a 70-yard field to go really short and into a 50 yards till the end zone.
And bear in mind, fans, that ball is in the air. Thus, a receiver on the kick return team has first dibs at putting his hands on the football. It's just like a punt, even though it's from a kickoff formation. Pass play, right side. That's going to be caught for the Bulldogs. Out in the flats on the right side, a catch by Ed Castillo, the junior.
A nice pass from Garza right into the numbers. A real strike. Okay, maybe it was a little high, but a really good catch from number 82. And you said it earlier, Ed Castillo.
That's in the middle of four defenders. Nicely delivered football. Second down, 6 yards, or check that, 4 yards to go. With 3:46 left here in the first half of play. They'll look to throw. Deep ball down the left-hand side, and it's going to be overthrown, incomplete.
Yeah, they try to give it to their playmaker, their star receiver. He sees one-on-one coverage. It looked like 2nd and 4. He said, I think we can get it in one play. We're going to try to take a shot, try to change the momentum of this game right now.
Philippe Megana on the intended receiver. 3:37 left here in the first half of play. Shotgun formation for Brian Garza and the Mackay Bulldogs. And they'll run it, and that goes nowhere.
Yep, they handed the ball off. He ran it right into a gray jersey as they were there waiting for him. Drops him down at the line of scrimmage, and now it's 4th and 4. They're doing another. Looks like they're going to take it all the way down the play clock, but the special teams is ready. Oh, just kidding. They're bringing the special teams on the field right now. It looks like they're going to punt.
4th and 4. They'll play a little field position game here. Hawks send a man back. That's Gabriel Perez. Stands inside, right at his 10-yard line. You got a punt fake. It's not a bad spot to use it. Low snap. Nice job by the punter to get to that ball. Kicks it away. Sideline left side. Stays in bounds. Gets a great roll for the Bulldogs inside the 10. Hawks take over. First down.
Well, there's been a really big bright spot for this team. And I know how this is going to sound, but it's that punter. He's fielded like about 3 or 4 bad snaps, gotten the ball deep enough. That ball landed at the 25-yard line and stayed in bounds and rolled all the way down to the 9-yard line. And now the Hawks have their back against the wall. Let's see what they do with 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in the half.
I've seen shortstops struggle worse with a ground ball on a round ball. Taking hops like that on that short hop. That's an oblong football coming back at you. And he fields it with some soft hands and then gets the punt away with people coming right at him. First down play for the Hawks from their own 9 with 2:45 left here in the half. And David Torres and company, man in motion. Handoff, Hendrick, right side. Rumbles out across the 14 to the 15-yard line.
And now they were on the ropes. And now they're back in position at the 15-yard line, 2nd and 4. Let's see what they do now with the time they have.
It was a good job of just getting it behind the big right tackle, gaining the yardage. Here's a running play. That's about a half a yard, nothing more, as they quickly shut down Orlando Munoz.
And Munoz had it. He ran in. He ran to the side. There was a Bulldog in the backfield almost as soon as he grabbed the ball. Made a cut left, but ended up going down. And like you said, half a yard, maybe a yard.
Right at 2 minutes left here in the first half. Harlingen South Hawks on top, 31-0.
And the Hawks are taking their time, making sure that they don't leave any time for the Bulldogs to make a play and come back down the field.
Looking further ahead, the Hawks will get the ball to start the second half. They'll run it this time left-hand side, and they'll get the corner. And the ball comes out. It's out of bounds. That's enough for well, it's not enough. It's close to forced down yardage, but it looks like on the carry by Perez, he's short.
Yeah, that was a good job by the defender.
McAllen.
He reached out.
Third and final
It looked like he was beat. We called it. We said it looks like it's going to be a first down. And it looked like he was beat. The defender reached back and wrapped him up. He grabbed him, slowed him down, brought his other arm up, and spun him down right in front of the sticks.
Fourth down play and the timeout called by the McAllen Bulldogs. And that's Coach Kevin Brewer saying, I believe in you guys. We're going to get the ball back. I'm going to give you some extra time. And let's just see if we can make a play here. We're going to get good field position out of this exchange.
Yeah,
Knowing they have to give the ball up to start the second half.
He's saying, let's see what we can do. There's a minute 30 left, around a minute 30. It's a minute 29. Their backs are still kind of against the wall. The punt's not going to be deep. The wind is against them. We should have good field position, and let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can do anything to change the momentum of the way this game is going right now.
Back to return the punt is Joe Trevino, the junior, stands right at the midfield stripe. Meanwhile, the Hawks punter stands inside his 5. Protection first for the Hawks is the primary concern. That's done. End over end kick away from the return man. Takes a bounce out of bounds at about the 48. So from the Hawks 48, Bulldogs with a minute 20 to go do get a chance to maybe put something together from the offensive line.
Yeah, for the Hawks, a real short, low kick. But it did a good, but he had the roll and a lucky bounce. Took it all the way back, and it looked like it bounced another 20 yards. And they have the ball right where they ended, at the 49-yard line at South Hawk territory.
Shotgun formation for the Bulldogs of McAllen. Garza takes a snap, drops back to throw. Here comes some pressure. Right side, that's going to be tipped and incomplete. Nice job on coverage by Caleb Solis, the senior.
And that's the same play they ran on the other side. Number 8 came in, curled back, and a good job once again reading the route, jumping ahead of it. He tried to make the catch, but the result of the play still worked out for the Hawks.
Second down.
Yes. You're supposed to click outside of the
Garza
first.
drops back to throw again. Looking. He gets hit and taken down. Loss of a play of about a yard. Good containment that time up the middle by Jose Harlingen.
Yeah, Garza was pressured on the right side, and he thought he would have space going up, but number 20.
That's Harlingen.
Holloman. You called it Holloman. Really did a good job bringing him, slowing him down, and then the sack.
Third down play, they'll throw it. Garza, right side, that's overthrown incomplete. It stops the clock with 46 seconds left here in the half, and that's a real quick 3 and out for the Bulldogs, who are facing 4th and 11.
Well, we'll see what they do here. They're once again debating whether or not to bring out the special teams unit or try to go for the 4th down and 11, try to get to the 39-yard line.
Kevin Brewer will bring out the punting unit for the Bulldogs of McAllen. It's one of those chess match moves where you're looking across the side saying, if I go for this, are you going to counter and go for something big and put points on the board? Or if I go conservative and punt the football, will you take a knee and get us to halftime? Another low snap. Kick is away. This may be returnable. Hawks let it bounce inside the 10, inside the 5, and down at the 1. Terrific punt coverage that time by the Bulldogs of McAllen. With 36 seconds left here in the second quarter, Hawks start deep in their own territory.
And the reflexes in the hands of David Chiquito. As it bounced, it bounced, it bounced. He let it go until the last second. It was about to go into the end zone. He dives, just touches it back in. Barely taps the ball, stops it at the 1-yard line, and then another McAllen player got on top of it, and so the ball was called at the 1-yard line.
First down play for the Hawks. David Torres won't be able to take a knee here. They're going to have to run a play. A knee results in a safety. Right now, the Hawks have pitched a 31-0 shutout here in this first half of play. Coming up at halftime, we'll be able to take a look at the bands performing here on KHGN TV on a Thursday night. Also here on Real Sports. Running play, Hawks, that should take us to halftime.
Yeah, they just made a quarterback sneak, make sure we don't lose any yards. And even if for some reason there was a timeout called or something were to happen, they would still have space for a knee. But it looks like they're going to take it into halftime. So a recap, 31-0. The Hawks came out strong, 24 points in the first quarter, tacked on another 7 in the second. And it's just so far been a big statement game to the rest of the team saying, look out for us.
If you told Coach Ritchie you're going to have a pick six, you're going to have a 60-plus yard run, you're going to have another interception, you're going to dominate time of possession, and you're going to have a shutout, he'll take it. And he does. The halftime locker room. 31-0 your score. Hope you enjoyed the first half. Again, the bands will perform. We'll be back for the second half.
See you in 30 minutes.
Mic check, 1, 2.
Yes. They were checking during the game. First time. Back here, we are at J. Lewis Bogus Stadium on a Thursday night. Joe Bowling, Matthew Cavazos tried to catch his breath. He made a mad dash up the stairway. And it's a long run up here. Even though there's handrails, we'll give him time to catch his breath. Mackay will be kicking off. Starting the second half, it's a 31-0 game. As the Harlingen South Hawks pitched a shutout in the first half. Hawks will drop the kickoff, now bring it out across the 5 to the 10, 15-yard line, and out to the 20. First and 10 for the Harlingen South Hawks. They'll take over on this first drive. There's a penalty on the play as well.
Can you turn off your mics, please? Floor's on. As we wait for the call, looks like they're bringing everyone back into
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 32 on the return team.
So this return,
A 10-yard penalty will be assessed from the end of the run. First down.
If you're McAllen, you know you took the halftime break, and they took an extended break, by the way. They were the last team to come back out. And they were trying to put together some kind of plan. Not necessarily even to get back in a game, you're down 31-0, but to put some effort forward that you can build on. They wanted to build from week to week. through these non-district games. And so we'll see if Coach Brewer was able to place some personnel in position to make some plays and motivate some players to make some plays. Meanwhile, the Harlingen South Hawks have found some momentum, found some confidence, and now, Matthew, is when you can open things up and go out there and play, and you too truly can try to improve on your game. Running play left-hand side, and that's out across the 19-yard line. Quick carry for Hendrick, who had a big touchdown run in the first half. His first carry here goes for a good 8 yards.
Yeah, you said earlier, expand your play knowledge. You know, try to take a couple shots, get the experience in different phases of the game, just in case something breaks down in a different game. Kind of like expanding your vocabulary if you're the quarterback or the receivers. You know, the quarterback has to sometimes make the throws that he but won't necessarily make on a normal basis, like deep throws, so this is the time to use them.
David Torres hands the ball off, and here's Hendrick again, out across the 20, and that's good enough for a first down. Just stretched across the 20-yard line. Hawks move the chains on the first possession here to start the second half.
Yeah, they wrapped him up at the ankles. He kind of leaned forward, got stopped, leaned forward, got the ball past the sticks, and it went down.
11-10 and counting here in this third quarter of play. Concern was weather coming in. Looks like that's going to be in the picture tomorrow, but maybe not tonight. I don't want to jinx it. One lightning strike could change it for a while. Pass play, left side, another pitch and catch, and now running out of a tackle and out across the 40-yard line. He had a big first half. Derek Delgado, first catch of the second half, goes for 15.
Yeah, he made the catch, broke a tackle, spun out of it necessarily, and went up the field, got a good 7 yards. And so now, like you said, it looked like a 15-yard gain. First down and 10.
First and 10 from the 41. This is your opening drive of the second half here on a Thursday night here from Harlingen, Texas. Wind blowing out of the north, coming right into the face of the Harlingen South Hawks. Again, we haven't seen too much on the vertical passing game from either team, so it's really not going to affect what we've seen so far. Torres rolls right, slings it right, incomplete, underthrown.
Yeah, he was rolling out to his right. You know, it's really hard for a quarterback to make the throw on the run like that, and it was just a little too behind and right at the feet of the receiver.
Delgado, the intended receiver. Second and 10 as the clock stops with 10:37. No game tomorrow night here at Harlingen. They've already called that one off. And that's just because of the fact that Converse Judson, which was the opponent, had to make a decision by 8 a.m. as when they were planning on leaving San Antonio tomorrow. And just too many forecast models. And by the way, they were going to come here, play a football game, and drive back on the same night. And the decision was pretty easy on their end. We're not going to do that. It's going to be tough enough to do that in good weather, much less we may be in inclement weather. They decided not to do it.
Yeah, like you said, it's really hard to make that. You can't make that call on Friday because they have a long way to go. So even if it doesn't rain tomorrow, don't say it was a prejudgmented call because you have to make a call like that, especially when there's feels like an 80% chance of rain tomorrow. You have to make a call like that because they have to come back down from San Antonio, have to prepare, figure out when they're going to go, and so I think it was a smart decision to call it off now.
Third down and 4 yards to go for the Hawks. They'll run it with Key Rose, upended, stays on his feet though, bounces it outside. Can he get to the sideline? Yes, sir. First down, Key Rose, all on second effort.
Yeah, he ran up, got caught in the legs, jumped up, and it looked like he was riding his lineman like a horse. And then he came back down, ran out to the side, broke a tackle, and got to the sticks. He's your little guy that's got some real power.
First down for the Hawks, now in McAllen territory. Opening drive here the second half. And Key Rose, he's been instrumental in some of the offense here tonight. So has Corbin Hendrick. Man in motion, right to left. Here come the penalty flags. This will not go.
Yeah, we usually when the play's called dead like that, it's a false start.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 55, 5-yard penalty. No first down.
There's the call. Kendrick was the man in motion. Check that, Gabriel Perez. Nothing doing, and so it's still first down, but now 15 yards to go, and the ball back on the Harlingen South side of the 50-yard line. 9:13 and counting here in the third quarter of play. Hawks on first down. Play action. Torres rushed out of the pocket. Looks, keeps it, makes a move, gets to the sideline, and is brought down. Good pursuit that time and containment for the Bulldogs. Matthew Ramos, the junior, never bought on all those fakes by Torres, kept him in sights and brought him down.
Yeah, Ramos really did a good job, like you said, not buying on those fakes. Got his fakes right, and he got me. I thought he was cutting them.
Torres hands it off to Quiroz, running left-hand side, got some blocks, gets across the 45 to the 44-yard line. Short of first down yardage, 3rd and 6 coming up for the Harlingen South Hawks.
This is one of the longer third downs that they have. We'll see if they try to run it on the ground to get those 6 yards, or if they're going to try to get it through the air.
Brandon Oliveras and Christian Cortez that time lead blockers on that sweep for Quiroz. 3rd down play, Torres looks at the sideline, gets the play, with still 20 on the play clock. Plenty of time for the Hawks to change things up in the fly. Torres wants to throw, looks left-hand side, that's incomplete. Getting tangled up over there, Carlos Guajardo, the intended receiver, covered by David Chiquito. Incomplete pass, 4th down.
It's like getting tangled up there. It looked like it could have been called a personal foul if the ball wasn't that high in there.
4th down, Hawks appear to be going for it, or will they? As they look to the sideline, clock running. We'll go under 8 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. This is the first possession for either team in this 3rd quarter. Now a rugby approach and the punt away. Short kick to the right side. They'll get away from that ball. It takes a Hawk roll inside the 25 to about the 23, and that's where the McAllen Bulldogs will take over.
A 21-yard punt from the quarterback, David Torres. It's an interesting way. They tried to draw him offsides, didn't work. They said, all right, everyone, quick punt. So that's what they did. So they don't have to burn a timeout. And they were in good enough field position to do that without risking the Bulldogs getting better field position than normal.
1st down play for the Hawks. Defense on the field for the first time as the Bulldogs try to generate some offense. Running play left side. On the carry is Daniel Cazares. Checked in the game in the first half when their starting tailback, Octavian Lewis, went down. And Lewis already had double-digit carries when he exited this game. And so if the approach was to give it to Lewis multiple times, now it rests on a sophomore who stands back in the backfield. 4-yard gain on 1st down. 2nd down, running right side across the 32-yard line. Up in it and brought down.
He ran, tried to power through. They lifted him up, threw him back down to the ground. So now they stopped him short of the chains. 3rd and 1.
4-yard gain, then a 5-yard gain, and now 3rd and 1. Any coach in the world will take those kind of runs if they're going to move the ball on the ground, and right now that's what the Bulldogs appear to be doing on 3rd and 1. Garza takes it, hands it off, running left-hand side, and that's going to be short of first down yardage as they shut down Cazares that time before he can move forward.
And I think that's Harlingen South number 20. If I'm not mistaken, it's Holloman. We've called his name multiple times. And yes, it is. Jose Holloman came in from the left side, or from the right side, and the ball was run to the left. He followed the man and took him down short of the line to gain, which is impressive, knowing that it was only 1 yard.
6:29 and counting here in this 3rd quarter of play. Each team has had the ball once, and now with the Bulldogs in punt formation, each team will punt the ball away. 5 on the play clock. Punter's had some terrible snaps to deal with. Gets another bad one and handles it easily. Nice, high, spiraling kick, returnable for the Hawks across the 35 to the 40-yard line, out across the 44. On the dead run on the return, Gabriel Perez turns that into an 11-yard return. 1st down for the Hawks.
I don't know how good that punter's arm is, but it looks like he would be a good first baseman, just making the catches that he's been making so far.
Shortstop, baby, I'm telling you, those are ground balls that with a baseball would be tough to handle sometimes because they're short hopping. They're coming in at just, he's doing a nice job. 1st down play for the Hawks. Offense back on the field. Thanks again for joining us here. KHGN TV out of Harlingen on a Thursday night in conjunction with Real Sports Live, bringing you high school football. McAllen at Harlingen South. Running play for the Hawks, left-hand side, and that play is stopped in a heartbeat. First guy through, Ciro Arredondo makes the tackle.
Yeah, grabs him by the ankles, and so once you have that one leg immovable, then you can't get you can't get that much further than where he stopped you right there.
One of the Hawks players appears to be shaken up just a bit, Miguel Flores, and the official calls a quick pause in the play. It's not necessarily a timeout, but it's long enough to allow a substitution into the game. He jogs off under his own power, so hopefully he'll be back for the Hawk fans. Meanwhile, 5:39 left here in this third quarter of play.
And now, after that extended break, you could say, now they're going to take the ball back. 2nd and 8 with Torres lined up.
By this time in the first quarter, the Hawks had 20 points on the board. 5:33 and counting here in the third. So we start off the second quarter with each team having the ball once. Hawks second time with the ball. Torres wants to throw. Setting it up, rushed out of the pocket, hit, and thrown down. Now the penalties come rolling in. Give credit to Alan Cortez, and then after that, well, who was that? 99. Malachi Dames. But then the penalties may wipe that clean.
Torres looked like he escaped the pressure, and like you said, Dames grabs him by the
After
jersey,
the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 54.
Ooh.
That 15-yard penalty will be assessed from the previous spot. It is 3rd down.
So that sack will count. Then you tack on the penalty yards, and that's a big loss for the Harlingen South Hawks.
And that's Brandon Olivares. He's one of the captains here. You know, you want to make sure Coach Ritchie's trying to keep the discipline in check, as that's been 2 personal fouls on sportsmanlike conduct this game and 1 last game that resulted in a player not dressing out for this game.
And as the official indicated, that was after the play. So it is 3rd down. And if you want to get a first down for Harlingen South, get the ball to the 46-yard line, and then you'll measure. And that's the 46 of the Bulldogs. Torres, receiver screen left-hand side, making a move, but hit and down at the 30. They quickly covered up Derek Delgado that time. 4th down coming up.
It looked like the Hawks are just about 25 yards short of the first down. As Derek Delgado grabs it, they try to get it into a playmaker's hands. Just try to get as many yards as possible, and he goes out 5 yards. So now they're going to punt it from their own 29-yard line.
Clock running with 4 minutes and 33 seconds left here in this third quarter of play. Hawks of Harlingen South will punt the ball away. Back to return the kick is Joe Trevino. Trevino, the junior, stands at his 40-yard line for the Mackay Bulldogs. Play clock down to 8. Snap is low. Nice job fielding that punt. These punters are pretty good. Nice spiraling kick. Fair catch called for. Now contact made. Ball comes loose, but that penalty's coming out. It's going to be Bulldog ball, and it's going to be 15 yards at the end of this, my friends.
You know, I've never seen from a high school game a fair catch interference or a kick returner interference. I don't know for sure what it's called. I haven't seen it much, and I've seen it twice this game. So now this punt looks like it's going to go to the 40-yard line.
Doesn't matter if a player's... Here we go.
Kick catch interference. Number 22 on the kicking team. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed from the end of the run.
As I was saying, it doesn't matter if it's a fair catch or a catch in motion. The receiver on a punt is given a chance to touch the football, to receive it. Any contact that happens before that or after, in the case of a fair catch, is the 15-yard penalty. Running play for the Bulldogs up the middle, driving inside to 35 on first down. Back to work goes Daniel Cazares.
And just kept pounding those legs. And so he went from a 1-yard gain to a 4-yard gain.
Cazares looking good in backup for Octavian Lewis, who went down. The junior was on his way to a big night for the Mackay Bulldogs. Now with 3:39 to go, they'll fake the handoff. Play action, looking for it all down the right side. Got a man, incomplete. Looking for Aldo Marin, covered by Caleb Solis. Marin actually had some separation back there.
Yeah, the pass was just a little too far out in front, and I think I see the defender kicking himself, because if he had moved back towards the receiver a little bit, I think he could have gotten a hand on the ball, because I think he had a step on it. I think there was a chance that the defender could have reached it, but either way, resulted in an incomplete pass, 3rd and 6.
Hawks would have been looking for their 3rd pick of the game. Running play, and Cazares takes it out across the 32 to the 31. That's short of first down yardage. 4th and short coming up for the Bulldogs of McAllen.
That looks like it's going to be short. Looks like maybe a yard and a half. So we'll see there at the 31-yard line. It's the Hawks. I don't think it's field goal range. Is it worth the 4th down, or would you just punt?
They'll go for it. 31 down, trying to build some momentum, trying to gain something going forward. 3 minutes left here in the third quarter. Keep 2 backs in the backfield, a high snap. Garza looks to throw, swings it left side. That's nearly picked, incomplete. Stepping in, jumping the route was Isaac Moreno. He tipped it away. He had pick 6 in his sights.
Oh yeah, it was a flat route. And Moreno he got both his hands on the ball and it just fell out of his hands. But either way, it's a turnover on downs and it's South Hawks ball.
Hawks take over at the 31-yard line. Clock stops. 2:50 left here in the third. All Hawks. Well, Matthew Caceres, what do you do on a Friday night now? No football game here.
No football game? I think it's time to catch up on sleep. A little sleep deprived.
I just switched gears. I'm heading to Sherryland. Cover a football game out there.
Who are they playing?
I'm not sure. I just saw we're going to do the game at Sherryland, so I'm going to take over there. It was that or Roma, so I took the shorter game. Pass play for the Hawks out in the flats. Left side, got a room. 35 and more. 40, 45. Penalty flag comes in, though. It may be coming back. They hooked up with Corbin Hendrick out of the backfield.
Yeah, Hendrick towards the left side. Really no defender in sight until he got to what looked like the 40.
During the play, holding. Offense,
That's a
number
hold.
12.
And that would show
That 10-yard penalty will be assessed from the spot of the foul. Still first down.
Would have been an easy first down. It's a spot foul. So it's still going to be yards gained for the Harlingen South Hawks when you take a look at where the play started. And they'll mark the ball down at the 40. First down. Running play across the 45. That's a quick 5 yards on a carry by Hendrick.
Yeah, he got those legs pounding. He wasn't slowing down. He started to go down, extended. And so now, like you said, 5-yard gain.
Second down and 5 coming up for the Harlingen South Hawks. 2:16 and counting here in the third quarter. Hawks David Torres out of a shotgun formation. Swings it right side to Hendrick. That's a lateral. Turns it upfield, strung out and thrown out of bounds. Nice job on containment that time by the Bulldogs of McAllen.
Yeah, that's a loss of 4, but there are 2 flags out. One on the far side of the play and one near the sideline where the play ended up. So we'll see what the Zebras say after they meet, after they huddle up.
The one closest to our side looks like it's going to be against the offense. We'll hear the call from the official.
There are multiple penalties on the play, both by the offense. Illegal black on the back. The offense, number 12, that penalty is declined. Chop block. Offense, number 66, that penalty will be accepted. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the run. Correction. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the previous spot. We'll replay the down. Still second down.
Well, there were times when coaches would make guys run, and I mean run a lot, on Mondays after a football game, and it was all assessed on the number of penalty yards against you. If that's the case for Coach Ritchie, it'll be a long day of running for the Harlingen South Hawks right now, despite the fact they're up 31-0. Another big penalty. Minute 47 and counting here. Shotgun formation. They'll drop back to throw. Looking, slinging it down the left-hand side, and that's going to be caught. Delgado again, the intended receiver. Minute 37 and counting here in this third quarter play. Hawks facing a third down. 7 yards to go.
And here we go. They're waiting for the play on the sideline. Play clock coming down. It's 15 seconds and counting.
Quickly played third quarter here for the Harlingen South Hawks. David Torres gets the play. 3 on the play clock. Now down to 1. Takes a snap. Rolling right side. Torres looks to throw. Plants. Fires. Downfield. Incomplete.
Yeah, all he could do there was force the throw to their tight end, to their big man Brady Bennett, but double coverage. I think it's better off that he overthrew it to the right than overthrew him up or left.
4th down for the Harlingen South Hawks. Stops the clock with 1:30 left here in the third on the incomplete pass. Joe Trevino back to return this punt. Hawks look to the sideline for the play. They do keep the offense on the field right now, but this has been the situation where Torres will drift back into a short punt formation.
Timeout. Harlingen South.
Timeout called by the Hawks. They'll talk it over.
Yeah, it looked like they were debating going for it, but they decided just better off going with the special teams unit and having the actual punter come out and try to make the punt. They're not in the right field position to do that.
Well, you're up 31-0. Are you the Harlingen South Hawks? On your home field, looking to go 2-1. The crowd having some fun out there. On a Thursday night.
And the student section is dressed up as American pride after, earlier this week was the remembrance of 9/11, so they changed their theme from Pajama Day to American Pride. And that was their decision, and a really respected one throughout the school.
Good stuff. We were at Harlingen South on Tuesday night covering volleyball action in a non-district game against a district opponent. A rematch this Tuesday starts off district play as Los Fresnos is in town to take on the Lady Hawks. Punt play, Hawks get it away. Wobbly kick, fair catch called for and then made, and the return man gets run into, but its own guy this time. Good job hanging on to the football, Joe Trevino.
Yeah, if you could have called a catch interference on your own player, that's what would have happened right there.
1:21 left here in this third quarter of play.
Yeah.
Bulldogs in a shotgun formation.
Okay. Okay.
They'll run the ball to the left-hand side. That's shut down in a hurry. No gain on the play. Bayes on the carry.
On the stop, number 21 for the Hawks, Isaac Moreno.
2nd down and 9 coming up
It'll be about a yard gain, 2nd and 9.
for the Bulldogs. Under a minute left here in this third quarter.
Like you said, the Bulldogs lining up 2nd and 9 as they're under center. Actually, they're in the shotgun. Here he goes.
Garza looks to throw. Has some time. Overthrows his man on the left-hand side.
Yeah, they were looking for the out route, going just so he can catch it, get out of bounds, gain some yards, and overthrew him. Just a little too high, a little far out towards the sideline, and it was just resulted in an incomplete catch.
3rd down and long for the Bulldogs. 42 seconds left here in the third quarter. Bulldogs haven't operated much in Hawk territory at all tonight. First time downfield in the Hawk territory resulted in a pick 6. 3rd down here. Garza some time over the middle, and it is going to be up for grabs, and still up for grabs, picked off by the Hawks.
And they throw a jump ball to their big man. It looked like number 8.
Or will they say it down?
Oh.
I think they're going to say the ball was
Caught and then pulled out.
completed pass and then pulled out. So the Bulldogs make the big play.
And the jump ball worked for the Bulldogs and not the Hawks. So
It did. That was up for grabs. Aldo Marin out-muscled Caleb Solis when it counted. Solis ended up with a football, but that was after it was on the ground, said the official. First down play for the Bulldogs of McAllen. Bounce it to the left side. That is shut down in a hurry. Loss on the play. First guy through, Hunter Butler. Call his name.
yeah, that was a new runner also for the Bulldogs. If we want to look at that, Rogelio
Bayes.
Bayes.
Had 1 or 2 carries in the first half. That time, you talk about turning, getting your shoulders squared up as a tailback, moving the ball upfield, nothing doing. Fourth quarter coming up. 31-0 your score.
So nothing happened this quarter. No points on the board for either school. And so the score is still 31-0.
Timeout. McAllen. Will the clock operator please?
And it's actually still the third quarter, as there was a timeout called with 3 seconds left in the third quarter.
Bulldogs want to keep playing here in the third quarter. They call it timeout. Now you do have the wind at your back, and you will be facing 2nd and 14. Other reasons you call a timeout with 3 seconds to go, 31 points down in the third quarter. That's a coach's choice, not mine. I don't know.
Yeah, that's all. Whatever he's thinking, that's the reason.
Speculate if you want. Doesn't matter. It's because he wanted to, and he can tell you that.
Yeah. And that's why we're up here.
Yeah, exactly. 3 seconds left here in the third. Bulldogs, Brian Garza. In a shotgun, 2 receivers right side from the left hash mark on this probable last play of the third quarter. Drops back to throw. Over the middle, tipped and incomplete. And he had Nathan Lianis.
And that ball hit him right in the hands. It looked like it was a little too strong for him to grab. It bounced off, tipped up, and it resulted in an incomplete pass. So now is officially the fourth quarter.
31-0 the score. Harlingen South with a comfortable lead. Looking to go 2-1. Harlingen Cardinals already 2-0, so a combined 4-1 start through the first 3 weeks of the football season. Not so bad from the city of Harlingen perspective for high school football in 2018.
Yeah, really looking up here for this Harlingen South football team and this football program.
And there are those that say the Hawks had opportunities and could have won that first game of the year.
Yeah, they were up until a late comeback run happened for the other school.
Incomplete pass there over to the right side, intended for Philippe Magana.
Yeah, it was a really high pass. It looked like they were just trying to throw a jump ball more towards the McAllen receiver. They both got hands on it, so usually what that means is it was incomplete.
Alvarado was there defensively. Now the punt team will head onto the field for the McAllen Bulldogs. And I'm going to give mention again to Philippe Magana, the punter. Has had some just outright scary snaps to deal with. He's made it look easy. Waits for this one at his own 30. Another terrible snap. Look at that. Got it. Got to kick away. 90% of the time, that ball is going to be dropped. And a big loss on the play. That's not Magana, by the way. That's Robert Amador, the junior. I'm telling you, he's got some hands.
Yeah, it's really impressive. When you look back at the game, you see all the snaps he's had to handle. I'm surprised that one wasn't just outright blocked or picked up off the ground.
I've seen 90 punter just absolutely fall on that ball. He's handling it with poise and getting those punts away. I always like to take a look at some of the positives, regardless of what the outcome of a football game is. In this case, that young man.
He's also had really good punts. If you look, when it is a good snap.
Catch, yeah.
When it is a good snap.
Hawks on first down. Will run it and get it out across the 44 to the 45-yard line. Right down the hill on the run. Muniz.
Yeah, following the blocker. They made the hole. He followed his lead blocker. Fell forward. 4 yards. If you get 4 yards, the whole possession, you'll end up in the end zone.
I had coaches tell me if I could run the ball all night, Joe, and you tell me, I guarantee me I'll get 3 yards every carry. I'm running it on 4 downs. I'll score every possession. I'll win a football game. 4 yards on that carry. Running play again. Muniz doesn't get 4 this time. He gets a couple.
And they brought in a new quarterback. It looks like giving him some playing time just in case something were to happen to David Torres. And his name, number 10, Ryan Cortez.
Senior Ryan Cortez.
So this is your look at a backup quarterback. In case the most tragic thing were to happen and your starting quarterback went down, this is your backup right here.
Hawks look impressive at times. I covered some. We were broadcasting some of the 7-on-7 games this summer. We got to see some various setups with quarterback receiver core. Cortez was one of the guys playing in the 7-on-7. Turns, hands the ball off. Muniz running hard right side. Needs to get a push. Doesn't happen. Stopped short of the midfield strike.
Yeah, he comes up. He runs into a swarm of white jerseys. And so it looked like he got maybe 3 or 4 yards, but it's going to end up 4th and 2 for the South Hawks as they wait for the play call on the sideline. But I think they're just going to punt it. Either a quick punt or they're going to call timeout and bring the special teams on. We'll see.
Under 10 minutes left here in the ball game. Play clock at 14. Hawks still looking to the sideline. Yep, they're going to let this run down and call a timeout. Timeout on the field. Hawks up big.
And so they're going to bring on the special teams. They're going to punt it. And no new news. No new news here in the second half.
Now it was 31-0. Fans just joining us. It was 31-0 at the halftime break. It really was academic after the first quarter. If you take a look at what has transpired since those first 7-8 minutes of the ball game when the Hawks took control of this ball game.
Yeah, you want to talk about a big start. You want to come back and review this game right here. Big start. You know, first quarter, I can tell you all the big plays that happened right here. A 67, 68-yard run to start off the scoring. 7-0 Hawks. Pick 6, 14-0. And then they got the ball off a punt, drove down to the 3-yard line, kicked the field goal, 17-0. And another interception resulted in a touchdown, 24-0. And then it was the end of the first quarter. So if you want to talk about a big start, that's as big as you can get.
And it isn't necessarily coast mode from there. It's been an impressive football game played by this Harlingen South team. They'll punt now. Bulldogs send a man back to the 20-yard line to return this punt. That's Trevino. Hasn't had much time to return kicks. Watches this one. Sailed deep. Takes a bounce for the Bulldogs back out to the 20 or the 18-yard line. And that's where they'll take over. 9:24 left here in this ballgame.
That was a high punt. It looked like it had some backspin. I think he thought it would go deeper so that he could try to bounce it within the 15 or the 10-yard line, but it bounced right at the 17, came back a good 1 yard, and they downed it at the 18.
McAllen Bulldogs back up to the line of scrimmage. On this first down play, Brian Garza. High snap, hands the ball off, running play right side, and that is stopped. No gain on the play. Hawks were literally standing there waiting as the ball carrier came through, and the first guy there was David Cortez.
I mentioned him earlier in the broadcast. He is a big name to watch on this Harlingen South defense. He is what I called earlier a tackling machine. You want to put a guy on one of the tackling dummies, and he'll take down the dummy every time.
He'll have to check out of the game. Hawks were having some personnel issues, and so they'll call a timeout.
Timeout.
Stops the clock with 8:51 to go in this football game. 31-0 Hawks up.
And so McAllen's going to take.
That is their third.
McAllen's going to take the ball, second and 8 at the 20-yard line. Like you said, 8:51 left in the fourth quarter, 31-0. And now they're playing for experience. They're going to keep going. This is a young team you mentioned in the midst of what people have been saying, a rebuild year. And this is what, and you know, you just want to gain the experience. This is what it's all about. This happened last year for Harlingen South. It just kept going on. You know, that you just had to keep playing, get the game time experience, and eventually you'll get better and your team will grow. And so that's just the struggle that it is. Every team has to go through it.
Fans having some fun here for the Harlingen South Hawks. I know you're up here in the booth, but part of you wants to be down there in that mix, right?
Oh, yeah.
I can see it.
Always. I always want to be down there with the students, with the fans, and watching the game from a different perspective, but I love being up here. I love this.
Having a lot of fun. Pass play for the Bulldogs, looking for a deep ball down the right side, and that's nearly picked off. A better chance to catch that, Enrique Alvarado for the Hawks than the intended receiver, who was Philippe Magana.
Yeah, you usually don't see the defender have a step on the receiver and they throw the ball up to them. But
you can see right there he had a beat on that football. That's like a receiver that has beaten a defender. But in this case, that was a defender with the steps after that football. Second down, or check it, third down. Clock stops with 8:44 left here in the fourth. Bulldogs in a shotgun formation. New play in from the sidelines. New ball player checks in as that's Isaiah Garza, lines up in the slot. Pass play by Garza over the middle. Look out, this is up for grabs in traffic, and that is going to be incomplete.
yeah, there were 5 players there, three Hawks, 2 Bulldogs. That was as much of a jump ball as you could get, and it turns out the ball wasn't in anyone's hands. It was on the ground.
Magana right there in the mix, shaking his head like, man, I'm running downfield and there's 3 green jerseys and the ball's coming. Got to get creative here on trying to make this catch. Clock stops with 8:36 left here in the fourth quarter. Field position will change here. Most likely the Hawks will gain a few yards out of this possession change. With that quick 3 and out by the McAllen Bulldogs, and they're going to either burn a timeout.
Timeout.
They will.
McAllen.
Timeout on the field.
That is their second
McAllen will
charge
punt
timeout
after
of the
that.
second half.
I'm going to tell you the truth here. I did not expect this many timeouts this soon in the second half. But it looks
Hawks
like
are
5 have
already
been
out of
called.
timeouts.
Yeah, 5 have been called. 3 for the Hawks, 2 for the Bulldogs. And I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's change of mind, some issues on the field, but that's the way this game's been played, and I'm not paid to coach. So I'll stick to talking about what they do.
Fans, again, we appreciate you tuning in on the games. Thursday night, of course, UIL rules do allow for live video and audio broadcast of football games. Saturday night, same thing. And for that matter, any other sport, they allow live video and audio on the presentation. Friday nights, UIL rule says pull the curtain down. We'll just go audio only, and an hour and a half after the game or so about, you can then watch the game. So again, enjoy it here on a Thursday. And the Hawks will be playing here on a Saturday as well. You'll get to see them later this season. Here's a line drive punt. This is returnable. Hawks on the fly to the 40-yard line, to the 35-yard line, just like that on a return by Perez. The field does flip. Hawks get great field position to start a drive.
Like you said, good field position. The Hawks, it looks like they're going to take it at around the 35-yard line. So that's usually the field position on average is 35 on your own side. But this time, it's on the defender's territory.
Hawks take over from the 35 of the Bulldogs. And we'll start to look at what other personnel maybe Harlingen South will bring into this ball game. We already see that Ryan Cortez is back in to run the show. Back there with him, Corbin Hendrick, that's a starter. He stays in at tailback on this first down play. Man in motion. That's Jose Lerma. Handoff, and here comes Hendrick. Out of bounds at about the 32. So a gain of 3.
And some things never change. And one of those is the running back by committee. They're so deep in the running back area, but, you know.
And each of the backs has a different type of feature. From Quiroz, who's the small scat back, stay on the ground, weave his way through, to Hendrick, who gets to the outside, turns on the jets. Muniz, who just barrels in there in the middle. So it's a good mix when you have this by committee tailback. Here comes Muniz this time.
Yeah, it's hard to find someone that's great at everything, but if you can find multiple people great at certain things and you put them all together, then you basically have someone good at everything.
New guy comes in this time. Austin Montalvo checks into the ball game for the Harlingen South Hawks. Meanwhile, the clock running with 7:27 to go here in the fourth. Hawks up 31-0. Third down and right at 5 yards to go. They get to the 25. It should be enough for a first. Play changed at the line of scrimmage by Ryan Cortez. Muniz in the backfield, stands at his left-hand side. Play clock down to 5. Here comes Muniz, right side, got a block. 25 makes a man miss, spins at the 20 to the 15-yard line, down to the 10-yard line. Muniz used the block, then used the move, and then carried a man for a couple extra yards.
Yeah, he makes You said he broke a tackle right here from number 50. Made a spin move, a nice spin move. Defender ended up on the ground. Cut back to the right. Made his way down. It looks like they're going to give him the 1st and goal. So they're going to have the ball at the 10-yard line.
Right at the 10. Football, the nose of the football stretches across the 10. Thus the 1st and goal. Play clock down to 12. Hawks, well, they don't have any timeouts left. They're going to have to take a snap. Up to the line was 6 on the play clock. Cortez hands it off to Quiroz. Hesitates, runs through the 5, down to the 3-yard line. 2nd and goal coming up.
And I really want to mention this before it gets too late and how underappreciated this unit is to normal fans, but to a football team, a coach, this is one of the most important groups, and that is the offensive line. I talked to Coach Ritchie before the season. They have 6 or 7 players that they rotate in and can play every single offensive line position, just in case someone gets tired, someone gets weaker right now. They throw another man in there, and they have done a really good job at the trenches, and that reflects the rushing yards that have been gained.
Right now you see Brandon Oliveras on the front line. Charles Mattingly lines up on that right side. To the left side, Daniel Sanchez. Here's a running play up the middle, and that's short of pay dirt. 3rd and goal coming up for the Hawks.
And now they're going to have the ball at the 2-yard line as they bring in their big guy. Not necessarily big guy, but the one that can barrel through, and that one is Orlando Muniz.
Hendrick in the first half was brought in right about this spot. That's when he ran for his 2nd touchdown of the game. It was Hendrick that broke off the big run that got the scoring started for the Hawks here in this football game. Muniz now stands in at the tailback on this 3rd and goal from the 2 of the McAllen Bulldogs. Cortez takes a snap, hands the ball off. Muniz runs it, end zone, touchdown Hawks.
He runs off to the right side. There's one man there, one Bulldog. He has to put his shoulder down, try to power through him, and he does. And so now, touchdown, Harlingen South Hawks, and the score, 37-0 pending this extra point, could be 38-0.
4:48 to go. Student section still having some fun here, decked out in the red, white, and blue, cheering for the green and orange. Extra point coming up. Jose Lerma out of the hold of David Torres. Kick is away, and just like the others, it's good. Kickoff coming up.
So now it's 38-0, first score of the 2nd half, and it was by the 2nd unit leading the charge, but the running back stayed the same. We mentioned that earlier. So Cortez getting his first real game action as a varsity member. He's a senior. Getting to see him, not really a lot of passing plays, but if it comes, it comes. But it's good to see him out on the field and them giving him some reps and some game time experience. It's a different flow than in practice or camp, as you can say. It's a different flow, it's a different timing. Everything's a lot faster.
4:48 to go here in this ball game. I don't think they've set down the entire game, this student section.
For a good reason, too.
Camera workers having some fun over there with the student section. Why not? Great camera work tonight by the KHGN crew. Switching things up here in the booth. Putting on a better and better show every time I'm anywhere near this place.
A lot of the people down there working the cameras are part of our student-run academy, the Media Arts and Communication Academy. They do a great job down there, spreading the wealth, letting the students get the experience they want and need.
Kickoff coming away, and it's a booming kick, and just like in the first half, with the wind at his back, no thing such as a return for the Mackay Bulldogs. They'll start at their 25.
You can take out those 3 return men, throw them up to the 30-yard line, and you know where that ball's going. It's going straight out the back of the end zone.
Bulldogs take over. Hawks now eyeing, can we complete the deal and pitch the shutout? And I know defensive coordinators are now eyeing anyone that goes on the field saying, protect what we did to get us here. And that 0 means something to a lot of guys on this football field right now. Bulldogs and Mackay. trying to get something going offensively, and they get a couple yards on that carry.
A couple yards. It looks like they're going to give him 2 on that one. 2nd and 8. Just ran up, tried to run into the trenches. Couldn't come out the other side.
First guy standing things up was Cristobal Guerra, the senior for the Hawks. You can see him standing tall among all those linemen down there. He's a big, tall, imposing, wearing that number 73 on that left side. 2nd down. 4:09 left here in this ball game. A high snap. Garza takes it, hands it off. Running play, and that for Cazares gets it out to the 30-yard line. 2 more yards gain.
So now they're going to have 3rd and 6. It looks like if they give them the right spot.
Yeah, they gave him a couple extra yards on that spot. So 3rd and just under 5.
Pretty generous there, in my opinion, but it's not my call to make. So
We're a long way from that line of scrimmage. That's all I can tell you, even though we got a monitor here.
3rd and 4.
Our eyes and theirs are different. 3:36 left here. Shotgun formation. New quarterback now in the game for McAllen. That's Robert Amador. Amador takes a snap, drops back to throw. Looking over the middle in traffic, incomplete, and a big hit delivered. Intended receiver out there was Aldo Marin. 2 Hawks there in coverage.
Yeah, they try to throw it into double coverage, and the man from behind reaches around. It looks like he might have gotten a hand on the ball. And that's number 18, Zachary Pena.
That's a big collision. Pena and Michael Becerra back there in the secondary for the Hawks. 4th down for the Mackay Bulldogs. Play clock at 17 seconds. We can get time for this punt to get away. Amador stands back at his 25. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Pressured up the middle, got a great block, turns, now delivers a pass. Downfield, incomplete.
They deliver a strike. And that was a different player right there, but they delivered the throw and went to Mag.
Watch still this blocking here. And then it's a tough ball to deliver. And then as the ball gets to the receiver, that just good defense.
It was a good strike, like you said, but he did a good job of reading the play, reading the throw, and getting there in time to break up the pass.
3:11 left here in this ball game as Harlingen South takes over.
Now they're down at the Mackay Bulldogs 31-yard line here at the closing minutes of this game.
Hawks football at the Bulldog 31. Ryan Cortez directed the team down in the end zone on the last drive. Hands the ball off to Muniz, running right up the middle. Got near the 26. That's good enough for 5 yards. On 1st down, we'll go under 3 minutes left in this game.
Yeah, weaving his way through the trenches. And he eventually kind of breaks into the secondary. And they're going to mark it 3 yards, 2nd and 7.
Hawks taking their time.
And understandably so, as they just want to pack it up and get home. All the students here still have school tomorrow. So that's something we all have to look forward to.
And then we'll take a look at the weather and see if it's going to hold off till tomorrow night or start coming in the daytime. Penalty flags on this one. Before that play gets underway, most likely offsides.
Part of the snap, false start. Offense number 83.
And they call it false start on the offense. So now 2nd and 12 here at the 33-yard line. And once again, the South Hawks taking their time, letting the time run off the clock. Really just waiting for play calls, but we know what's going to happen. It's going to be a handoff to the running back. He's either going to go left, he's either going to go right, or he's either going to go right down the middle.
Either way, it's going to be Muniz, who stands to the left side of quarterback Ryan Cortez. Here comes Muniz. He'll decide to go left, bounces it outside, takes on a tackler at the 25. That's short of 1st down yardage.
But this time they chose to go left. And so he made a couple cuts, put his shoulder down, and really powered through one man.
Meanwhile, McAllen burns their final timeout.
Yep, they called the timeout. 1:47 left. It looks like it's going to be 3rd and about 4 And I said earlier, a minute 47. Looks like they just want to try to get one more offensive possession.
And they're playing that song. My granddaughter drives me nuts with this song. And the student section's in with it. Why not?
Anything to get them still excited, jumping around. And this will do the trick for them. It's not hard to get them involved. And here we go. Now the teams are lining up once again. 3rd and 4, 1:47 left here in the game.
Minute 47 left. Hawks on their way to 2-1 on the season. McAllen Bulldogs will fall to 1-2 on the season. Coach Brewer again looking to just build some momentum. Coach Ritchie now trying to gain some serious momentum. Couple games left before district play starts. Running play, Muniz right side hit and drives forward. Second effort gets him close to first down yardage. He was hit smack head on by Jordan Rivera and then ran right through that. Short of first down yardage, but great second effort.
You hear keeping your legs pounding, but that took it to a whole new level. Even if that was me out there, I have a big frame. That would have taken me down like a light.
4th and 1 coming up for the Hawks of Harlingen South. They can take this under a minute left in the game before they take the snap. Cortez waits. Play clock down to 6. Takes it. Here's a handoff. Muniz has a first down and a little more inside the 15 to the 13-yard line, right down central. First down for the Hawks.
You said a little earlier in this drive how Coach Ritchie and the Southhawks are trying to gain some serious momentum. And we talked to him earlier in the season. He does believe that their district right here, District 32-6A, is the toughest in the Rio Grande Valley. And how now it's 6 teams. So you have to get 4th or higher to get in the playoffs from this district. And that is still a very tough challenge. We've mentioned San Benito, Los Fresnos, Harlingen High School, Brownsville, Hanna, Harlingen South, and Brownsville Rivera. That is a tough district to go through, and they're lined up in victory formation. The game is over. Harlingen South Hawks 38, McAllen High School Bulldogs 0.
A shutout for Coach Ritchie and staff, and I'm not sure which is more impressive, the fact that they put a 0 up on the board and held it, or if they put 38 points on the board and the way they did it, with defense scoring points and the offense doing it through the air when needed and on the ground, and it wasn't just one guy. This was a team effort, a team win for the Hawks, and an impressive victory for win number 2.
Yeah, this seems like a very experienced team, a lot more balanced. Earlier, there's some injuries to the running backs. They haven't been able to keep that by committee standard that Coach Ritchie likes to have, but now it's in full effect, and now they can do it in the air. They have all phases of the game down. And I'm excited for district season to start.
That'll take us to the end, my friends. Our final score, 38-0 for Matt Cavazos, for the entire KHGN crew. They did a terrific job on this one. I'm Joe Bowling for Real Sports Live and for KHGN. Until next time, 38-0. Hawks win this one. Good night.